Yo, 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 yo. How are we? I'm so excited. Everyone's getting teamies all over the place. I love it. I'm so proud of you all. Oh my God, I've had 6 of you message me, or we've got 6 people just joined the business like that in the last few minutes. It's been an insane day today, guys. I'm so proud of you all. I'm so proud of you all. I look like shit because I haven't been able to do anything because I'm so excited.
You and me both.
Yeah, look at us all. We're all rocking it tonight, girls, aren't we? We're just going to let a few people. I love the fact that she's got Arbonne as her sign. Brilliant. We're just everybody. Hello, Simon. I love the way that we're all messing with our hair.
Evening.
Good evening.
My hair is really flat. I'm like comb over.
We're just going to give it a minute, if that's all right, and then we can kick off. Anyone that's late is going to be late.
I joined to you singing. I joined to you singing.
Oh, wonderful! You lucky man.
I know, right?
You very lucky man. Honestly, when I'm walking that stage as an NMD at the end of whatever, I'm going to be in my Playboy bunny outfit and I'm going to be singing my fucking heart out. I'm going to be like, yeah, bitches. Because what's gone on in the last few hours, if this continues, then I love you guys. You're all going completely off the scale. Even the quiet ones are getting team. It's absolutely brilliant. So guys, I'm going to mute you all. Don't think that I don't love you. Oh shit, don't want to mute Simon, do I? I'm going to mute everybody else. I hope everyone's had an amazing month. Anissa, darling, I hope you're feeling well. Happy. Oh, Carly, you're on. Hey, babes, how are you? Great to have you on, darling. Right, okay, so guys, a lot of you asked for some training on around belief for network marketing. So I asked Simon if he would mind jumping on and basically doing that training for us, because yesterday I was having a bit of a flap and I was like, oh my God, Simon, please tell me that you're going to do this training for me. So yeah, bless him. He is the master. He's created an NMD business. Simon, is that right? IMD, sorry, my apologies. So he's created an IMD business in the Juice Plus world. I don't know, I always say NMD, so my apologies, I've said that a lot. An IMD business in the Juice Plus world. His mum is Susie Mitchell, who is obviously the UK regional manager. And he has now got a really super successful network marketing coaching business. So there is literally no better person to talk us through this shit than Simon. And I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to listen to Simon. Thanks, Si.
Can we get like a promise on that? Like you're actually promising to shut up? Like, geez. Welcome, team. I hope that you are all well on this fine, freezing, if you're in the UK, freezing Monday night. I thought I'd get the first swearing out of the way very, very early on. I'm excited to be with you all tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces, some faces that I've never seen before. I'm kind of pumped to do this training. One, because we're talking about network marketing, which is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Belief in the industry, something that is really, really important if you want to grow a successful business. But also more where I'm doing this training from. So it looks like I'm doing this training on a really boring whiteboard. I'm just going to turn you around, and it looks like a really empty flat. And it is. I'm in a really, really, really empty apartment building. But I'm actually going to talk about that a lot tonight. And here's why. I'm in an apartment building in Manchester that when I was 26 years old, I'm now 30, so maybe I was a bit younger. Maybe I was 25. No, maybe I was 26. Let's go with 26. I was 26 years old and I was working in the corporate world. And I'm going to tell you through my journey why network marketing really is the vehicle for the future, why it is the industry for the future, and how you have in the palm of your hands the most incredible opportunity. I want to take you back to 4 or 5 years ago. I was 26. I was working in Manchester. Like many of you, I'm sure, and if you can relate to this, just raise your hand. I grew up in a world of go to school, go to college, go to university, get a job, work hard, like play the game, working for the man, hoping something that works out. And at 24, I had a really cool job. I bought this place at 24. At 26, I had a lot of disposable income. I had a great job. I had a lot of choices in my life. However, I was also a bit lost. Anyone ever got to a place in life where you're a bit disconnected to who you are? You're like, I'm not living my truth. I know that there needs to be more of me showing up in this world. Lucy's going crazy right now. And nearly dying at the same time. The reality is I was in a place where I was massively disconnected. And I remember I went to a Tony Robbins event, and I've grown up around Tony. If you know, if you spent any time with my mum, you know that's something that's important to both of us. And it was my 26th birthday, and I went to a Tony Robbins event. And if you've been to UPW, you certainly know what happens on the first night, and that's walking across fire. Now, I was on the fire team that year, helping 10,000 people walk across those coals, and it was an awesome event. However, my 26th birthday was spent the whole day sweeping the car park. How does that sound for a birthday? Like, who loves the idea of just sweeping a car park for your birthday? Like, that's a celebration, right? And I was this really big fat kid. I was disconnected, but I was working this corporate job where I would go to the office at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'd come home at 8 o'clock at night. Like, some of you will be able to relate to this really well. I'd go to the office at 7 o'clock in the morning, get home at 8 o'clock at night. I'd be on my phone in the evenings, on my phone on the weekends, always worrying about clients, always worrying about life, always worrying about what was going on in the job rather than anything else. Like, people used to say that I just lived for my job because that really was my identity. That's all I knew what to do. Like, anyone else relate to that? Like, your identity is just what you do Monday to Friday, but seems to carry on into so much else. And I remember I sat at Tony Robbins and I was really quite unhappy. I was really quite miserable. And mum was sat across the table from me. And she said to me, something's got to change. Some really powerful words. Like, who's ever had those moments of something's got to change? Like, just raise your hand if you've ever had those moments of like, I'm at that point, like, that's the line. Something's got to change. And thankfully for me, I have a beautiful mother that sometimes will give me that kick up the ass that I need to go, something's got to change. And I gave her a surprise back. I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start my own business. And I kind of watched, anyone ever seen the color just evaporate very, very quickly out of somebody's face? Like, anyone know what I mean by that? Like, you're talking to someone and the color just disappears. And the color just disappeared from her face, because I don't think she meant that. I think she meant like, go work out, get healthier, get excited about some shit. I said, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start my own business. Now, at this point, I had seen her build a national marketing director business, and I'd actually gone to quite a lot of conferences. I'd been to a lot of Juice Plus conferences. I had a lot of fun. I loved the Juice Plus people. It was very similar to me from a personal development crowd. So I was like, these people are energetic, they're excited, but that's her thing. And for me, for 3.5 years, I'm going to be honest with you all, I was the most skeptical person in the world. I was the person that used to go home to my mom, being such a great, beautiful son that I am, and say, when are you going to go to prison? When are you going to get arrested? When's your scam going to end? When's your pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme just going to evaporate? Anyone ever had someone tell you that network marketing Juice Plus is a pyramid scheme, is a scam, is a con? I was that guy, the biggest person in her life, going home and telling her that that's what was going to happen. Kind of ironic, because I thought I knew best. Because I thought, because I had a job, because I worked hard for somebody, because I had some steady bullshit income coming in, that I knew best, so that she was doing something wrong. So I remember I said to her, I'm going to leave my job. I'm going to start my own business. He's a man after all, 100%. Thanks for that, Lucy. I'm very stubborn. I thought I knew best. I still do. It's amazing. And I remember I said, do you know what? I'm going to leave my job. I'm going to start my own business. And in this apartment, so I was living in this apartment, and I was sat at this very table that I'm sat at now. Mansplaining, fuck, I love this. It's just getting abuse. Like, what is this? Monday night, abuse the shit out of men. I love it. I really do. However, I'm a bit more conscious than that. Give it time. Give it all in good time. So I remember I sat at this very desk and I started my own business. And at the time, because what do you do when you work for somebody and you don't like working for somebody else? Like, who gets that? If you don't like working for somebody else, you go start your own business. Like, that's what you go do. Not network marketing, you go start your own business. If you don't like working for someone else, you go start your own company. So I was 26 years old and I said, I'm going to start a consultancy company. It was around IT, it was around sales. Really, I would just do anything that anyone would throw business my way. And I remember I sat and I obsessed about a website. I obsessed about building a website for about 2 weeks, thinking that if I just built this website, then my business would explode and my life would be perfect. Like, anyone ever obsessed about anything? Like, if I can just get this right, then everything's going to change. I remember I sat and I built this website. And I went to Argos. So Argos was about a 10-minute walk away. I went to Argos and bought a £3 landline phone. Anyone remember landline phones? Like, anyone still got a landline phone? Like, give me a wave if you still got a landline phone. If it actually still rings anymore. And I went to Argos and I bought a phone and I plugged it into the wall just over there. I plugged it into the wall and I stared at the phone. And I just stared at it. And guess, just make on your hands, just make the number of times you thought the phone rang. Like, if you're going to have a guess at how many times the phone rang, yeah, 100% Kerry. 0. Like, straight up 0. I remember staring at that phone thinking, oh, maybe the website's not live. I'll go check the website. And it wasn't, the website wasn't live. It wasn't that the phone didn't work. It actually rang once because I got my mum to ring it just to check to make sure the phone would work. The reality is, what it taught me, and it was a great lesson, was that building your own business wasn't as easy as just having a website, telling people you're running your own business, and having a phone plugged in. So I remember, and I got a few clients and I did okay, but I realized in that moment that working for yourself, running your own business, was not all that it was cracked up to be. Society kind of, I don't know about you, but for me, society kind of put a privilege on, like, oh my God, you run your own business. What I actually learned was that it was actually just a massive amount of headaches. Anyone run their own business? Give me a wave if you do. Cool. What I know is that, certainly what I've learned since, is that you've got to surround yourself with great people. But at the time, I was the one going out, getting the clients. I was marketing to them. I was servicing the clients. I was then doing the follow-up. I was trying to be an accountant. I was trying to be a lawyer. I was trying to be a marketeer, and I was shit at all of it. And I'm a really, really, really unorganized person. Like, I'm heavily, heavily unorganized. So what's important is that for me, that wasn't really the phase of my life where I actually was going to go out and build the business that I wanted. So I thought something's got to be different. Now, I had a point in time, I quit my job by this point. I had a mortgage, I had life, and my best friend was getting married in Australia. So my best friend's getting married in Australia. So I fly over to Australia to best man at his wedding. And I remember on the plane home, I'd just been in Australia for 3 weeks, running my own business at this point. Now, if you run your own business, you totally get this. There's no pay, like holiday pay. There's no clients going, oh, it's okay, come back in 6 weeks' time. And I remember sitting on the plane home thinking something's got to change. Anyone ever had those moments? Maybe some of you are there right now. You're like, something's got to change. Like, I'm at that point where something has to be different. And I remember I was sat on this plane home, and I love reading. I'm obsessed by studying successful people. And I looked in my backpack, and I think my mom somehow, I still don't know to this day how, had stuffed a book in there called 45-Second Presentation by Don Faillier. 45-Second Presentation by Don Faillier. If you haven't read it, I recommend you go read it. It's a phenomenal, easy book about network marketing to read. Failla, Don Faillier. 45-Second Presentation. Cool book. And I remember reading this plane on the 23-hour flight home, reading this book on the plane on the 23-hour flight home. And it finally clicked at me. I could have an ego over I knew best, or I could go decide how I wanted to live. Like, who gets that? You can have things have to be perfect, or I've just got to go fucking hustle. Like, anyone ever had those moments of realization of, like, I can think about stuff, I can worry about stuff, I can plan? Any planners like on this call? Like, anyone really good at just like planning till everything's perfect? Here's what I guarantee you. I used to be one of those people, but what I realized on that plane home is planning doesn't pay your bills. Planning doesn't give you the life that you want. Planning doesn't actually help or serve anybody. It just allows you to play very, very safe. So I came home in November 2013, and I decided, you know what? I finally got to do something different, because what I was doing in that moment wasn't working. And that's when I jumped in. I jumped full 2 feet into Juice Plus. This was before Zoom existed. It was before Facebook Live existed. The only way to build business, certainly back then, Facebook was a tool to be able to connect to people. But yeah, you could connect with people to build some business, but events happen face to face. I was doing 6 events a week up and down the country. I'd happily sit at 5 hours on a train. I remember going down to Newton Abbot. If anyone knows where Newton Abbot, it's down like near Exeter. I live in Manchester. Newton Abbot's a horrible, horrible train journey away. I remember going down to Newton Abbot, and this happened to me twice. I didn't learn the first time. Again, I'm a man, so I'm a bit of a slow learner. This happened to me twice. I went down, and even the people organizing the event didn't turn up. But I was that willing to do whatever it takes. I remember days of turning up and I thinking 40 people were going to be there. And sometimes 40 people showed up and sometimes nobody showed up. I remember doing whatever it takes, because I had this mentality that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to work hard. I honestly believe I didn't have any skills at that point. I would just have the ability to run into brick walls. I had a mentality of, if I was going to be successful, if I'm going to do this network marketing thing, then what I realize I have to do is that's on me. I have to take responsibility for my business to go build the future that I want. Does everyone get that? It's something that served me at such a high level that is, if you want to be successful in this industry, if you want to be successful with Juice Plus, you've got to take responsibility for your business. It's not Lucy, it's not uplines, it's not downlines, it's not your sidelines, it's not the company. It's you going, do you know what? I can find excuses. Here's the truth. And I'm going to swear for a second here quite a lot. It's really fucking easy to find excuses. Really fucking easy to go, someone said no on Facebook, or it's cold outside, or it's snowing, or no, I don't have anyone to talk to. Or you can go build a business. Like kick people in the street, fall over accidentally, talk to any stranger that you ever bump into. There's 65 million people that live in this country and 8 billion people that live in the world. What I know is that you have the ability to speak to people. We've just got to get out of here. We've got to get out of operating in a fear mode and take responsibility for the life that we want to create. Because that's what I had to do. I wasn't a natural network marketer. Naturally, I'm an introvert. Naturally, I love nothing more than sitting by myself reading a book. I've had to teach myself skills to be able to build the business and the life that I want. November 2013, I went qualified national marketing director 3 months later. In January 2014, I went national marketing director in March. So 5 months later, I went international marketing director in June 2016, 7 months later. So from 7 months to IMD. And the reason that happened is because I had a mentality of I will do whatever it takes. There wasn't anybody that I wouldn't go build an event for. There wasn't anybody that I wouldn't talk to. Every single day, I was in a mentality of who can I speak to, who can I help, trusting, knowing that this was going to be my thing. Because if I'm honest with you all, I didn't have a fucking choice mentally. Like, who gets that? Who gets that? You have to get to that point where you're like, I'm all in on this. Like, I am all in. There is nothing holding me back. Because for me, and this is probably because I'm actually a man and because I have a big ego, the reality is I wouldn't let myself fail because I didn't want other people to go, ha, I told you so. I was that driven by other people going, like when I quit my job and then I said I'm going to go run a network marketing business, do you think people laughed? Like, if you think people laughed at me, raise your hand. Do you think people ridiculed me? Wave. Give me a wave if you think people ridicule. Shitload of people ridiculed me. I remember a guy that I used to sit next to for 3 years in the job that I worked in previously. Sat next to him for 3 years. We talked every single day. We went to lunch probably about 4 days a week. We probably went for a beer 3 days a week after work. He put up a post on his social media, so on his Facebook, not mine, on his, Simon Mitchell is worse than a payday loan company. Simon Mitchell is worse than a payday loan company. Now, it really taught me a great lesson. Because in that moment, what I realized is he wasn't my friend. He didn't support me. He didn't support my journey. He supported me when I was in his environment. He supported me when it was on his terms. It taught me a great lesson in delete and block. Like, it was a really, really great lesson. Here's the truth. It hurt for about 5 seconds. And then I realized I no longer worked at that company. I no longer wanted to spend time with people that didn't raise me up. Like, who gets that? At some point in your life, I definitely do like to chat. At some point in my life, I had to realize there is going to be lots of people. I love this shit I'm getting on this call tonight. It's because I'm in the UK. That's what happens. At some point in my life, I had to realize, and I challenge you that you have to realize as well, there are people in your life that like you because of the circumstances. They like you because of the job you do or the value that you add to them. What I challenge you is the people that support you, the people that care about you, the people that are going to raise you up will be there through thick and thin. All of my friends, and I mean 100%, if they're still in my life today, came to a Juice Boss event. Every single one of them. Yet only one of them joined. People didn't need to join my business to be my friend. However, they did need to get it. They did need to support me. They did need to believe in me. But I didn't need their belief or their support. It was about me going, look, if you want to understand me, come along, understand what I do. However, I'm still going to build a business anyway. I had a mentality that was whatever it takes, I will get there. Whatever I need to do, I will get there. And I also had an insane vision. Yeah, I decided that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this better than I've done anything before in my life. Not compared to anybody else, but compared to me. Because who's honest with themselves? If you've been honest with yourself and maybe you've gone, you know what, I fucked around with some things in life before. Maybe you've tried some businesses in the past, maybe even in your job, maybe you bounce from thing to thing, maybe you even excel in some areas of your life, but you're still not living the life that you want. Who's honest that you're kind of at that point where you're like, you know what, something needs to change and go to another level because I want so much more out of life. Because what I challenge you is when you get to that moment, and I talk about this a lot, you have to draw a line. You have to draw a line in the sand and go, do you know what? I am ready for so much more. I am ready to create a different quality of life. I decided that I wanted to build a business because I wanted a life of freedom. As I said, I just got back from my best friend's wedding. I was seeing him at the time once every 2 years. He's now obviously married. He's now got a son. I'm his godfather. And I get to see him whenever I want. I had the ability, I was living in Perth at the time. I had the ability to fly over for his christening in an 18-hour period and then fly back. That's a 6-hour flight go to a christening, and then fly back. You don't get to do that life if you play the game that everybody else plays. Because who gets this? We live in a society, that tells us what we're meant to think, what we're meant to eat, where we're meant to work, how we're meant to breathe, where we're meant to go on holiday. We are conditioned in the bubble that we live in. Here's what I promise you, and I'm not going to go too crazy on this, but once you step out of that, once you start to see that you are in control of whatever life you want to create, then you see that it is easy, and it is easier, trust me, it is easier, and Lucy will back this up, it is easier to build the life that you want than complain, bitch, and whinge about living the life that other people tell you. It is easier to get into a space of going, I'm going to take responsibility and ownership and do the work, than sit there and let other people tell me what I'm meant to think, what I'm meant to believe, how I'm meant to live. I decided I wasn't really meant to fit in the world that everyone else told me that I was meant to fit into. Like, anyone ever got that? Anyone ever been in a job or a place and you're just like, I don't really fit into this world because I want so much more. I want to serve people at a higher level. I want to help people at a higher level. I see some of you like pulling faces on that, and I'm like, cool, so own that. And now's the time to get into a space and go, do you know what? I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to get into a space and a mindset where we go and connect with people. And here's the truth. There will always be some people that don't get it. There always will be. I love those people. Like, let's stop for a second and just think about that. I love those people because the truth is, they are the people that keep like the streets clean. They're the people that keep restaurants working. They're the people that keep the jobs going. Now, no disrespect to anybody who works in a job. I completely 100% respect anybody who puts food on the table. However, I challenge you, the fact that you're on this call, the fact that you're listening to this, you have a desire for more out of life. There is not an industry in the world that gives you the responsibility, that gives you the ownership, but also gives you the rewards that the network marketing industry gives you. I'm a kid from Nantwich in Cheshire. I am no different to any single one of you. I just had a desire to live an extraordinary life. I had a desire that I wanted to live a different life. And that's what it starts with. It starts with the desire. It starts with a vision. Do you have a vision for more, for what you add in your life? Or are you letting other people control the thoughts that you think and the life that you're living? I had a desire to go live a different life. And so then I was willing to go match that with a work ethic, because that's what it comes down to. Getting clear on what you want out of life, getting clear of the vision that you want. And because of, and just for a tangent, because of this business, I managed to go and live in Thailand for a month. I remember I was massively disconnected. I needed to figure out what was next. I moved to Thailand and lived on the beach for a month. In 2014, I traveled 10 countries around the world and spoke on a lot of stages. 2015, I moved to Australia. 2016, I launched a coaching business that now gives me the most extraordinary life. And that started because I decided to say yes to myself. I decided to say that, yes, I am in control. This is the life that I want to create. This is the future that I want to create. There is not another industry in the world where you can get rewarded financially how you can get rewarded with Juice Plus. There is not another industry in the world where you can get the time freedom like you do with Juice Plus. There is not another community or industry in the world where you can build the community that you are building as part of the Rebel movement. What I want you to see, and what I challenge you to see, is in this world, there are many, many, many jobs that will pay you a lot of money. Like, who knows a lot of jobs that will pay you a lot of money? Many, many jobs that will pay you a lot of money, but you'll get zero time. You'll spend your whole life worrying about office politics, worrying about people bitching, worrying about people trying to backstab you. There are many, many jobs that will give you a lot of time. Like, who knows a lot of jobs that will give you a lot of time? However, they won't reward you financially. You might have a lot of time, but you're going to be sitting there broke trying to like go to the library and read 3 books. Because you haven't got the money that you want. There's also a lot of jobs that might give you some time, some money, probably not anywhere near as close to what Juice Plus will give you. However, won't give you the community and won't give you the connection. What I love most about the network marketing industry is it gives, and this is true more for Juice Plus than any other company in the world, is Juice Plus and the Rebel movement just accelerates and accentuates this. Is people come into the company, people come into this business, people come into this opportunity, and you get permission to be who you are. You get permission to be who you want to be. There is no other, like, who gets that? Like, there is no other business industry company in the world where you get to come in. Like, I get to come in and go, I'm this introverted character from Cheshire that loves swearing loads, and I'm going to be accepted for that. And not just accepted, but I'm going to be allowed to thrive. What I know is that there are so many other people, like, who's got some friends or people they know in the world that tell you they support you, but really they don't want you to do as well as them. They want you to do okay, but they don't want you to do as well as them. The reality is there is no other industry in the world where people will link arms, where people will raise you up, where people will believe in you, where people will challenge you to do more. Because it's not just all about come and have a big hug. I'm on here massively from a place of love, giving you some really honest, certainly parts of my journey, to be able to say, look, I know I can do it, so I know that you can too. But it starts with getting real. It starts with getting real over the level that you're playing at. It starts with getting real over the vision that you have for your life. And I don't mean houses, cars. Goals are cool. I actually mean more the vision for what you want for your life. How do you want to feel inside? How do you want to feel when you connect with the people that you talk to? How do you want to connect to your friends and family? What quality experiences, what time do you want to live and what do you want to create? Sorry. Here's the thing. Let me drink some water. Sort myself out. Here's the thing. What I promise you about life is going to happen. Life is going to exist whether you go out and smash your business or not, whether you go take charge of that or not, whether you got to make it happen. But I know at some point you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to go enough is enough, where I'm done playing small. I want so much more out of life. I'm so much more ready to go and create an extraordinary life. And that's where this industry gives you the vehicle to choose exactly how you want to live. I had someone come to one of my events 2 years ago, and she said she wanted to spend all of her days fishing. Lives in Australia. Her and her partner love fishing. And she came to one of my events. She said, I want to spend all my days fishing. She now spends probably about 3 days a week fishing because of network marketing. I had somebody come to one of my events, and one of my first events that I ever did coaching. And she said, I don't really know what motivates me. And we went back and forth for a while. And it came out that what she loves doing is twerking. Like twerking. You heard me right. She loves twerking. And at the time, she wasn't really building a business. And I'll be honest with you, she's not now a full-time network marketer. She's a part-time network marketer, gets paid a really nice amount of money. However, she now has a company where she teaches people to twerk all day long. Let's talk about that as a business. But it's because of this company. It's because of this vehicle. It's because of this industry. This industry, this company, this vehicle, this movement gives you the power to dream again. Whoever grew up in a world of people telling you to be realistic, to be sensible, to maybe you're not good at one of those things. Like, anyone ever heard that before? Like, I hear it and see it all the time. I heard those things all the time. Maybe you should just like get a job. Maybe you should just work hard. Maybe you should just do the same shit that everyone else is doing. There's not another company, there's not another industry, there's not another community in the world where we are empowering people to say to people, how do you want to live your life? How do you want to spend your time? How do you want to spend the time with the people that you get to connect with? And I just want to challenge you on that. I don't know how long I've got. I can speak for 3 days. I want to just challenge you to think for a few seconds that 5 years ago, I was in this flat. And I put a post on my timeline about this, but I'm going to talk about it for a second. 5 years ago, I was in a place where I knew that something had to change. I knew that I needed something different. I knew that I wanted more out of life. I didn't exactly know what that looked like, but I knew that what I was doing wasn't working for me. And I knew that the level that I was playing at was so fucking small. Like, anyone there right now, because if you are, like, I love you guys, where you're like, I'm kind of playing small and I know I've got so much more to give in this world. Like, I love your honesty. I really do. What I challenge you is I want you to think, where do you want to be in 5 years? Like, 5 years time, one of my favorite things that Tony Robbins says, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can achieve in 5. If you'd said to me 5 years ago that I would next week, so I go back to Bali and I move into my dream villa in Bali, like it's an absolute dream. I'm a kid from Nantwich in Cheshire that now lives in Bali, Indonesia, on an absolute island of paradise, having the business of my dreams, traveling the world, connecting with people, helping people, exactly in my design, not the design of anybody else, exactly in my control. 5 years ago, I would have laughed at you. But 5 years ago, Tizzle, I think that's you. I think it is. Awesome. 5 years ago, I would challenge every single one of you. That 5 years, I never would have believed that. Yet in 5 years, what became possible is because I decided, it just says Galaxy S6. Your Galaxy S6. Just start renaming your Galaxy. The reality is 5 years ago, I never knew it was possible, but I made a decision. I made a decision in that moment that I wasn't going to settle for anything less. That I made the decision that 5 years ago, I was going to do whatever it takes to create the life that I wanted. Not the life that anybody else wanted, not the life that anybody else told me that I was meant to live, the life that I wanted to live. And here's my challenge for you. I just want you to think right now, in 5 years' time, how do you want to be living? Not what do you want to own, not what car do you want to drive, not what house do you want to live in. How do you want to be living? Who do you want to spend your time with? How do you want to feel inside internally when you look in the mirror? How do you want to get to experience this wonderful thing called life? Who do you want to be helping? Who do you want to be serving? How do you want to be contributing? Because that's what matters in this world. It's about how you want to show up. What I promise you is in the palm of your hands. Like I always say to people, you've got the most incredible golden opportunity. You have an opportunity that not only helps people get healthier, look better, feel better, get more energy. You have an opportunity that allows people to make more money, get more time, choose how they want to live, spend their time with who they want to be in, challenge how they want to grow, be around people that support them, believe in them, raise them up rather than tear them down. There is no other industry in the world that gives people all of those three things. A product that is phenomenal, a business model that enables them. Like here's the craziest thing about the business model. You can make as much or as little as you want. Go and find another job in the world that gives you that. Go and find another job or a business or an industry in the world that says, I'm going to do you a deal that for the next 5 years, you work really, really hard. And then I'm going to pay you and reward you for the rest of your life at whatever level that you want. If you want to play small for 5 years, then you're probably going to get some small results. But if you want to create a huge momentum, if you want to create huge success, then for the rest of your life, you're going to have more choices than you could ever dream of. And a community that says, I love who you are. I'm going to raise you up for being you. I'm going to support you for your craziness, for your awesomeness, for your weirdness, rather than tell you that that's wrong. There is no other industry in the world that empowers people like Juice Plus, like network marketing does. So I want to challenge you in 5 years' time. How do you want to be living? Who do you want to spend your time with? How do you want to feel? How do you want to experience life? How do you want to contribute? How do you want to help? Because that's truly what it comes down to. So I challenge every single one of you that in this moment you make a decision. Because I like making decisions. In this moment you make a decision that you look forward to 5 years in the future. Decide how you want to be living. Not knowing all the details, not knowing what it's got to look like. And just make a deal with yourself that between now and then, you're going to do whatever it takes. Because that's the only deal that you ever need to make. That means showing up on the days that it might get tough. That means going through a few no's. That means learning some new skills. That means pushing yourself more than you ever thought was possible. But here's what I promise you will learn along the way. Network marketing, Juice Plus, is actually a very simple business to build. But you've got to come from the right place. It's got to come from a heart-centered place. It's got to come from a place of connecting and caring about people. It's got to come from a place of serving people. There is not anybody in the world, and I mean this with such my hand on my heart. There is not anybody in the world that does not need what you have within the Rebel movement. Every single person in the world needs the products, how you can help them, needs the business opportunity to create more time, more freedom, more leverage, more investments, or the community to help them shine as who they were meant to shine as. So I challenge you, the only variable is you. Who are the people that you are speaking to? Who are the people that you're connecting with? Are you settling for less than you want? Are you settling for less than you deserve? Are you giving up when it gets tough? Or are you saying, do you know what? I'm going to go do whatever it takes. I'm going to go work day after day. I'm going to work in my spare time. I'm going to work in my part-time. So one day, 5 years down the road, you get to look back and go, geez, it's been a ride. And I'll be real with you. There's been so many face down moments on my journey. There's been so many times of doubts. There's been so many times where shit went wrong. I've been told more no's than I ever could have imagined.
Have we lost Simon? Can everybody hear me? Is it my Wi-Fi? Or okay, cool. So we've lost Simon. And he was just on such a good rant. Guys, I think something that Simon's just touched on amazingly is he'll come back. Don't worry, guys. He'll drop off and come back on. Something that Simon just mentioned, which is amazing, is every single person in the planet needs part of the rebel movement. You know, I literally put the phone down to a lady just before I jumped on here tonight, and she just said to me, you have ticked every single box that I have. So unless you are the person that is putting it out there and saying, hey, this is what I've got, you're not going to have people come to you. This lady connected with me. She's a health coach. She connected with me a little while ago, and literally she stalked me. She told me from last Saturday she's been stalking me, and she messaged me to get added to the event the other day, and she's joined the team tonight whilst we've been on here. I invited her to come on tonight, but she freaked out a little bit, so you know, I didn't want to push it. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants the connection. Everybody wants the love. Everybody needs the product without any it looks like Simon's back. Are you back, my friend?
I love it. Always
you're on such a good rant as well.
Always with you guys. I have no idea where I got up to. I carried on going for probably a good 5 minutes. I'm actually going to when did I get up to? 5 years time. You're going to be in a great place. I'm actually going to wrap this call up anyway. What I would say to every single one of you is, in 5 years time, 5 years is going to go by whether you choose it to or not. 5 years is going to happen. You're either going to be in the same place that you are right now, if anything, take a step backwards, or you're going to be empowered to live the life that you want, or you're going to be able to choose how you want to help people, how you want to serve people, how you want to show up for people. The only variable is you. The only variable is you deciding, do you know what? No more playing small. No more letting other people decide the life that I'm meant to live. No more other people telling you the success you're meant to have. Like, it's crazy. We live in this world, like, who gets that? We live in this world where other people tell us how successful we're meant to be. It's bullshit. So I challenge every single one of you. 1, thank you for having me on this call. 2, thank you for bearing with me while this dropped out. It always seems to happen on your calls, Lizzie. I have no idea why. Thank you for giving me shit. As always, I would expect nothing less from your own movement.
Because we love you, really.
Oh, I know. I'm totally cool with it. I enjoy it.
Take your time, Simon. I think I can speak on behalf of everybody.
My pleasure. I want to challenge every single one of you. I want to challenge every single one of you that in 5 years' time, you go out saying, do you know what? I took control. I took control of the life that I wanted to live, of the future that I wanted to build, of the people that I wanted to help. There are people that are begging and dying for what you have. Everybody wants what you have. Part of a community that is on fire, products that just make insane sense and change the world, and a business model that empowers people to decide how much they want to earn and how much time they want to have. So I challenge every single one of you. 1, go out and take action. Don't get off this call, scroll on Facebook, turn on Netflix, order a Chinese takeaway. It's not good for you. Go out and build business. Go out and help people. Go out and serve people. Go out and connect with people. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks,
Lucy, thank you for having me on. Team, I'm sure I'll see you all soon. Lots and lots of love. And excited to see some cool celebrations coming end of this week and also next month.
In the next few days, we're going to have a lot of
excited to see them.
Yeah, thanks, Simon.
I'm excited for you guys.
Lots
of love, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Cheers. Guys, I hope that has gone a little bit of, if anyone's got any questions, pop them in the chat. I hope that's gone a little step in the direction of maybe giving you a little bit of salvation around the network marketing industry. You know, remember, everybody gets fearful of what they don't know. We've all been there. I've spoken to a few of you today and you've gone, oh my God, this has happened. And it's because you've not had to go through it before. Remember, everybody is the same. And I actually say to people now, and I've been doing it since NMD school really, I say to people when I'm signing them up for the team is, talk to me about your fears. What is scaring you about joining this business? And I think we all need to tap into that as well. Let's be really honest with ourselves, because we've all got fears. You know, I've had a conversation with Elena literally a couple of days ago, and she spoke me through stuff and talked me about how she's stepping through it. And it's amazing. This business is going to challenge you more than you've ever challenged yourself. It's whether the universe is just testing you as to whether you go, fuck you, I'm going to step through this, or if you're going to roll over and die. We all get distracted, guys, all of us. When it gets tough, it's much easier to go scrolling. It's much easier to do something. For myself, I used to do that too. So for any of you that have taken your foot off the gas for the last month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, you can start again. Just start tomorrow. Everybody should be putting customers through every month if you want a business. You cannot have a business if you don't put customers through. We've got customer pages that I think 1 or 2 of us are posting in on a regular basis. Guys, this is your responsibility as well. It's your business. Talk to people about the opportunity you've got. That's all you need to be doing. Talk about products, talk about the business, and run events. Go networking. Get on the events that we do. If you're not plugging into the Sunday night events that we run, I mean, they're unstoppable. I think Donna got 3 team off of last night. Carrie, I can't remember if you got a team maybe, or some people. Ellie, I think you got a couple of people last night. I certainly got a couple of people from last night. Like, they're powerful, guys. I think, Elena, you've got a few as well, right? So yeah, so we need to step through this, guys. The tools are there to make it easy for you. It's down to you to tap into them. Okay, no customer. I mean, I get it now because everybody knows where I am. And whilst I've been on the phone to you on this call with you guys, I've had 5 people message me about my products. Why? Because I posted about them today and they know that to come and speak to me about it. If you're not getting those conversations, if you're not getting those messages, you need to up your shit with a lot of love. I say that. You cannot expect people to come find you if you're not putting it out there. They're not fucking mind readers. All right? Products, team, network. That's all you need to do. And when I say network, that's tapping into the events that we provide. I'm not asking you to run events, guys. I'm asking you to tap into the tools that we've got. So who is going to gun for the rest of this month till Friday? Who's going to go find some customers? Who's going to go find some team? And who's going to make this shit happen, right? We've got some serious fucking promotions on the table in this team. You know, there is so many people that are so close to promotion. I don't know if Manuel is still on the phone. Just over 1 customer away from getting a DD, which is huge for somebody that told me she's not even going to do it. You know, I need to take it steady. I'm studying it at the moment. I'm not going to focus on it until at least the end of April. We're in the end of March and she's 1 order away from her DD. So guys, we've got it. Okay, we have the tools, we have the platforms. Reach out to me, reach out to your upline, reach out to your upline first and then come to me if you need some help. Let's make this shit happen, guys. Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life, like we tell our customers every freaking week. Guys, I love you all. I'm going to leave it there. Have the best evening. Good luck for the rest of the week, guys. You've got it. I promise you, all right? Go do the work.